Right. Did you see these new rules? This is crazy.
No. If I don't know the new rules, I don't have to follow them, right?
Wrong. Absolutely wrong. These are new Pentagon rules that cause most of the press pool to have to give up their badges and leave.
That's even more insane than that jewelry heist that just went down in Paris. It's crazy.
I know. You know what's more criminal?
What?
You eating candy corn.
Yeah, it's not Halloween without candy corn.
So can you take these? Because we need to talk about all of this. The candy corn of it all. With Halloween just around the corner, candy and costumes are on the mind. And I'm here to report that candy corn is the worst Halloween candy. This is according to multiple opinion pieces and articles, and even one study ran by a dental company, which may have different reasons. There's also Brock's, who started producing the yellow and white candy in the 1920s. They say some states put the sugary triangle at the top of their list. But what do you think? Is the candy corn the best? Is it the worst? Or are you just indifferent? And in case you missed it, Instagram rolled out a series of changes to make the content on teen accounts similar to a PG-13 movie. Violent, sexual, or other adult content will get filtered out of feeds, and some terms may not even be searchable. If you remember last year, Instagram introduced these teen accounts, but some groups said the teen accounts alone didn't provide enough guardrails. And over in France, it's a story that the movies are made out of. In a daring daylight robbery at the most visited museum in the world, thieves stole 8 pieces of jewelry, once owned by French royalty, while visitors were inside. It took just 7 minutes for the 4 robbers to get lifted by an electric ladder to the 2nd floor of the Louvre, break a window, set off alarms, and still manage to smash 2 cases, grab the jewels, and get down the ladder to escape on scooters. The Louvre in Paris, home to the Mona Lisa, is open to the public as French authorities still search for thieves. And we just want to wish everyone who has been celebrating a happy Diwali. The Hindu celebration, known as the Festival of Lights, symbolizes light over darkness or good over evil, and marks the start of the new year in the Hindu calendar.
I like the holiday when we do the blessings and light the candles, and it's a thrill when I know that Lord Lakshmi is going to bless me and bring prosperity to our home. I usually celebrate it with my friends, and these parties are great because they turn the event into not just some strict holiday, but more a really good celebration to show how the value of friendship is like light overcoming dark.
Can I bring us back to the Halloween spirit just for a moment? You gotta see how ginormous this pumpkin is. It won an annual pumpkin weighing contest just south of San Francisco, and it came in at 2,346 pounds. That is a chonker. A manufacturing engineer from Santa Rosa, California, grew the giant jack-o'-lantern. Brandon Dawson was runner-up in last year's contest, and he told the Associated Press that he's been growing massive pumpkins for 5 years. His kids are even involved in the process. His prize? $20,000. Yeah, he can get a lot of Halloween candy with $20,000. Maybe I'll trick-or-treat at his house.
Have you ever scrolled? Duh, you have. And have you discovered a new species though? PhD student Brian Stokes was looking through a birding Facebook group when he saw someone post a picture of what looked like a blue jay, but something was off. And no, not the Blue Jays that I watched the Yankees lose to that are now in the World Series. But let's get back to the birder that invited Stokes to see it with his own eyes. It turns out it was a hybrid bird, a natural cross between a blue jay and a green jay, aka a Grue jay. What makes it so bizarre is that these 2 birds have 7 million years of evolution between them. But because of climate change, the blue jay has been moving west and the green jay has been moving north, and meeting where it was spotted here in San Antonio. Stokes and a team of researchers at the University of Texas, Austin, confirmed the 50-50 hybrid with genetic test. This is a big deal for global science and could be an indicator that these hybrids are happening way more than we think. So you need to keep looking because the next scientific discovery, it may be between your get readies with me's, your hauls, and maybe even the memes.
On to our big story. Last week, almost all of the news organizations that report on the American military refused to follow new rules from Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. For decades, news reporters have been given press passes that allowed them to report on the Defense Department and what's going on at its headquarters, the Pentagon. They could freely enter the building in Arlington, Virginia to attend briefings, meet with officials, and talk with sources. It's called the Pentagon because, well, it's a 5-sided building, and a shape with 5 sides is a pentagon. Anyway, dozens of journalists may not be coming back because they turned in their badges. We're talking about big media companies like the Associated Press, New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, and Fox News. They're refusing to sign on to the rules that put major restrictions on what they do. Like, say, a journalist should only gather information that the Department of Defense has approved of, and they could lose their access if they ask questions about things that are not approved of. Also, now members of the press must be escorted throughout the Pentagon building, when previously they were allowed to move freely. Hegseth said on X, quote, "Pentagon access is a privilege, not a right." And then the Pentagon Press Association said the restrictions appear, quote, "designed to stifle a free press and potentially expose us to prosecution for simply doing our jobs." Many of the news outlets involved in the refusal said they remain committed to covering the military and put out similar statements. Even CNN and Fox News, and they usually don't agree or have the same perspective on things. But they've come together to champion the First Amendment and the freedom of press.
This leads me to my favorite question. What is freedom of the press and why is it such a huge deal? The founders, they fought for it. And it's a part of the First Amendment of the Constitution. It says, Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. It basically means the government cannot control what the media or press says or puts out. That's the media's right. The government can't punish journalists for reporting on things they don't want reported. Back in the 1700s, American colonists were ruled by the King of England, and you could go to jail if you spoke out against the king. The king's government heavily controlled the press. The press today includes newspapers, TV and radio, podcasts and digital media, bloggers, and independent creators. But why do we need the freedom of the press? It's to hold the government accountable. It's how the public can learn and understand what is happening within the government, to see if the government's actions line up with our interests or beliefs. It also helps to balance the power of the government.
All right, that's it. I've had enough. I'm not following these crazy rules. I'm protesting and I'm walking out.
Right, you do not work at the Pentagon. You work at First Stop News.
Nope,
You never had a press pass to enter. So
this is my freedom of press, and I shall protest by leaving work right now and gaming.
But we still have to finish.
You can't stop my First Amendment!
So, Will, would you please put the video on?
Okay, come on. This is getting out of hand, Randy. The mess that I have to clean up now.